G'day gang, Dan here, how you going? We're back in the Elder Scrolls Online on Clockwork City. Alright, so I think we are just about ready. Actually no, there was one more quest, wasn't there? Just when I think it's done. I think there was one more quest. If we can just find our way back out. Oh, there's a sky shard here. Hang on a second. Good thing we didn't warp instantly out. Alright, another Sky Shard. Oh, there we go, we unlocked something. Clockwork City Sky Shard Hunter. So... now, we need to go out. Let's get out of here. There's the way to the trial. But we can't solo that trial. Like I said before, I think I may have asked if anybody has actually done it. Whether you enjoyed it, was it a good one? Was it worth doing? Was it fun?
What an auspicious occasion! What an incredible find!
Associate Xanon.
Oh, hello there. Didn't notice you came in. Afraid I'm quite busy at the moment with my newest discovery, so I don't have much time for idle chatter. Unless you're interested in factotums and their creation process, it's best you leave.
Factotum creation?
Ah, so you are curious after all. You see, I found this factotum head in a junk pile, which isn't too uncommon for the Brass Fortress. I was intrigued, however, by its strange coloring. I was even more intrigued when it began to speak to me.
What did it tell you?
It gave a repeated message, requesting to find its integral of memory in the mnemonic planisphere. You seem like the adventuring sort. Do you think you could collect it for me? Rebuilding a factotum would just springload me into a council seat.
Leave it to me.
The journey to the mnemonic planisphere is riddled with dangers, so it's best to prepare. Shouldn't be any issues once you head inside, though. My research leads me to believe the integral of memory will resemble a crystal.
What's so special about rebuilding an old factotum?
Would you believe that the apostles don't know how to create factotums?
No.
That was a rhetorical question. The sad truth is that while we apostles can create metal limbs and motors, we cannot replicate the intelligence Sotha Sil gave the factotums. We're also unable to enter the factories where they're created.
Why doesn't Sotha Sil let you enter the factories?
Why does Lord Set do anything? He's the father of mysteries, after all. Through his silence, curiosity is born. Perhaps he meant for us apostles to figure this one out on our own. And I believe I've finally found a breakthrough with this factotum.
Why will this factotum help with that research?
Firstly, I already know it is an older, simpler model. You can see the dwarven influences in the skull. An aesthetic blight by today's standards. We apostles see dwarves as a race to scorn, not emulate. This model must predate that thinking.
And secondly?
Secondly, unlike other factotums, it openly speaks of its components. Trust me, I've interrogated many of these machines in the name of my research. Perhaps as we reconstruct its mind, it will tell us details about its creation. And thirdly...
Thirdly?
Well, its voice. Factotums are genderless machines, of course, but they all sound distinctly female. This one is the first I've met to have a male voice. I'm not sure what it means, but I am sure I'll find answers as I further my research.
Okay. Alright. Well, I thought it was Danny, but I'm not. More to do. But we've already been there, so we can just actually warp on out of there. Save ourselves a little bit of time. And see what we can see. Back to the planisphere. Okay. In we go. The astronomer, hello again.
I thank you once more for aiding us in our time of need. May your thoughts be clear and your heart ever oiled. I know we haven't met before, but I feel a sense of familiarity with you. Odd how you sometimes get that feeling with strangers.
It is quite odd. Okay. Obtain the integral of memory. Straight ahead. Down and to the right. Straight ahead and to the side.
You wish me to go to this location, Lord Sotha Sil?
Aha. The integral of memory. This crystal contains the fundamental knowledge of the factotum head. Alright, now back to Xenon. Back to Xenon. Over here. I guess this will be the quickest way to get there. It's gonna cost me 382, but it'll save me a load screen or two. Now, having a look at my achievements, I think this... I don't know if this is the last quest that's available, but... I think I only need one more for my achievement. It's like in Elsewhere, when I had gone through everything, I came back to it. I think I was there to fight some dragons or something. Yeah, I may have come down just to fight some dragons as part of a daily quest. And I actually found... that there was another quest. A dude dropped out of the sky. It's like random. I must never have gone that way in the first place to have seen that. It's quite strange. To the sky bridge. Alright, back to Xenon. Oh. Alright, harder. At the end of this. Gotta work on that endurance.
Integral of memory detected. Would you be so kind as to insert it into my forehead ridge?
Yes.
You've returned in one piece. How gleaming! In your absence, I've set up a framework to contain the factotum while we assemble its parts. I'll have you do the honors.
The honors?
Of installing the integral of memory. You heard the head. Insert the crystal into its forehead ridge. And don't worry, you won't break it. Sotha Sil builds his creations to last.
Alright. Do we want to do this? I don't know. The mystery of factotums. My associate Xenon Clockwork Apostle. One must ponder the absence of academic interest in the field of factotums among the Clockwork Apostles. For machines that are so much a part of our daily lives, they are given very little thought. Few lectures are focused on them, few books are written. Why are these machines so vital to the everyday processes of our existence so ignored. Factotums are an invention of need, servants of brass created by Lord Set to maintain his great creation, the Clockwork City. Repair factotums, keep our many factories and functions running. Guard factotums, secure the location of our god's most dangerous secrets. By their metal hands, our homes are kept clean. Our food is served. The music flows throughout our streets. But how much do we truly know about the factotums which we work so closely with? The answers lie in the mysterious nature of the factotums. Though our doctrines speak of mysteries, their importance and their prominence, they are still something we seek to solve. A formula, a theory, an answer which can be replicated again and again. That is what clockwork apostles seek with their fields of study. And why strive for innovation when there are simply no discoveries to be found? What do we know? What we do know is that the factotums have a common appearance, voice, and a sense of purpose. They hold a structured intelligence, often centered on their singular function. Their dialogue and actions are all based on this function, with only the commonality of a devotion to the clockwork god. Attempts to deviate from this purpose is simply incomprehensible to them. Any further research towards factotums is constantly met with opposition. Their place of creation is heavily guarded. Their functions severely limit the amount of information they can give about themselves. We don't know which manner of magic or machinery goes into their creation, and that's exactly why we need to further our research on them. I seek to delve into the secrets of perhaps the most enigmatic of Lord Set's creations. My research's focus will center on the structure, functions, and true purpose of these seemingly straightforward machines. I shall finally gain insight into what is perhaps the greatest mystery in all of Clockwork City. Alright. Ready to install?
The drive is 2 bars to the left, please. Your left, not mine.
Okay. Talk to the head.
Reflecting. Oh, I feel positively spring-loaded now. What a kind, generous apostle you are, which I recall is rather strange.
I'm Dan, and I'm not an apostle.
Reflecting. I've come to the conclusion that I am. I have no memory stored of any of my kind who are older, so I conclude that I must be the first. How gleaming. I cannot recall my name, but you may call me Precursor.
So, Precursor? Do you know where the rest of your body is?
Of course. Let me check my integral of memory. Should be right. Great Sotha Sil in the sanctum. Someone's tampered with my crystalline memory matrix. But wait, something's burned in here. I seem to have left a note for myself.
What does it say?
Ahem. Salutations, me. By now you must be wondering what happened to our memory. Dark forces have conspired to corrupt our knowledge of the world. But do not fear. I, the past you, have stored our memory in our other parts.
But we don't have any other parts.
A circumstance I have not accounted for. This is me now, not the message. I recall that my design includes both Dwemer and Clockwork parts. I also recall my blueprint, so I can guide my assembly once you find my parts. Sotha Sil guide you, Apostle.
I'm Dan, I'm not an apostle. Must have pressed the wrong button last time.
I don't quite understand. I function only to know my Lord Sotha Sil and his apostles. You are not my lord, and thus you must be an apostle. Simple. Do you have an inquiry, or perhaps a task for me, Apostle?
Astounding! The first factotum Sotha Sil created! We simply must complete construction now. The more memory it recalls, the further my research can develop. Council seat, here I come!
Where will we find the parts?
The Precursor mentioned he was made of clockwork and Dwemer parts. I'd keep an eye out for the former as you travel around Clockwork City, and search Dwemer ruins out in Tamriel for the latter. And of course, I have your reward as promised.
Apostle, I have remembered something. Come quickly before it rusts.
Clockwork City Adventurer unlocked. All right. Do you want to talk?
lost within the radius, high upon a cliff, shining pink petals above. I think the ventral terminus is nearby. I'm sure I'll understand the symbolism once you return my integral of introspection.
Your memories are quite vivid.
Lord Sotha Sil deemed it uncouth to give my parts eyes, but each has a wide array of sensors. I can orient myself on Nirn by the air's smell and the earth's feel. Why, my pelvis even has gustatory sensors. I suspect that's Lord Vivek's contribution.
Like gustatory senses? Lord Vivek?
I mean, of course, I have no proof that he had a part in my creation, but I like to think so. My dramatic flair, my poetic soul, it helps set me apart from the rest of my siblings. To sense, to touch, to feel. What gift I have been given.
Remember, the parts are most likely in the Clockwork City, or in Dwemer ruins in Tamriel. I've heard of corrupted memory crystals firing at random, so you may want to return occasionally to see if the Precursor knows anything new.
Do you really think the Precursor is the first factotum Sotha Sil created?
There's no way to be sure short of asking Lord Set, but many signs point that way. The dwarven influences, the different coloring, the male voice. Not to mention, he's more, shall we say, loquacious than your average factotum.
Loquacious?
Factotums don't have emotions or individuality. They say whatever they're functioned to say, nothing more. But this one seems to have a personality of sorts. For what reason, though? We have to continue our research if we're to find that out.